In this lecture, we'll be exploring display properties in CSS. Over here, what we have done is we have created a div, and you can see that it is coming up just below the form tag. So here in our HTML page, this is the form tag, and then we have the div. So here we are planning to list out courses. Now you'll notice that we've already applied the class border to it, and we have also provided an ID to this div called courses. So when we have applied this bordered, you will notice that this is coming up with a border. Now what we want to do is we want to put this div side by side with the form. So in order to do that, what we have to do first thing is that we'll have to assign width to both these elements. To do that, we'll go to our site.css, and here we'll be assigning the width. So let's say we assign a width of 300 pixels to this form. Similarly, we'll have a courses ID based rule created, and here we'll say that the width for this div is going to be 600 pixels, and we'll also add a padding of 2 pixels to this. Now let's save this and see it in action. So now if I reload this page, you'll notice that the border of each of these forms are now as per the width of these elements. Now in order to ensure that this and the form tag are aligned side by side, we'll be working with the display attributes. So here in the form, I'll say display as block. So this is the default value, and if you don't specify, it remains as block only. So for now, we'll just exclusively mention it over here, and we'll see how that looks when the page reloads. So you can see that there's hardly any difference. Now if I go ahead and say it as inline, so you'll notice that as soon as I do this inline, the width attribute is having a squiggly icon. Now it says this property is ignored due to the display. With display being inline, the width, height, margin top, margin bottom, and float properties have no effect. So what exactly inline does? If you notice here in the page, like I have this italics tag. So what it is doing is like it's keeping everything in one line. That is what inline means. So here if I reload this now, it will try to keep these things together, but you don't see the result at all. So how we can get this thing side by side? There's one more attribute, and that's inline block. So here we'll go with inline block, and here as well. Now you'll notice that we have width of 600 assigned to courses div and 300 to the form. So total it's coming as 900 pixels, and our section is 988 pixels wide. So obviously this will fit into that area, and they should now be aligned side by side. So let's reload now, and there you go. We have the alignment proper. But you can also see that it's not coming up properly as far as vertical alignment is concerned. To fix that, we'll have another attribute called vertical align, and here we'll say as top. Same goes over here. We'll say vertical align, and here we'll say top. Now let's save this and reload our page. Now you can see both the form as well as the div tag are coming side by side, and here if I show you the width of each one of them, this one is, as you can see, 300 pixels, and the div that is coming up is 600 pixels, and if you add them together, it's close to 900, and if you see the section, that is 988 pixels wide. So that's how it's coming up within that section side by side, and the vertical alignment is now top.